For some reason, people tend to overcomplicate discipline, when in reality, discipline is simply not feeling like doing something and then rejecting your mind by doing that exact thing. Another common mistake I see many people making is thinking that you have to be some kind of David Goggins in order to be considered disciplined. Now, there are two categories of discipline. The first one is what I like to call pre-planned discipline, which is anything that you may do that's in your routine. For example, even going to school or to university is an act of discipline itself. For me, taking cold showers, journaling and meditating in the morning are parts of my routine, but they still require discipline to do. The second category, and the one where improvement comes from, is doing acts of discipline at random times. Through those random acts, am I able to keep doing my pre-planned discipline, my routine, and this is how you will become disciplined as well. For example, before I started recording, I was taking a nice relaxing hot shower, and I had a thought in my mind. I thought, how much would I hate if the water was cold right now? And before I could even finish that sentence in my mind, I was under the cold water. Now, let's take a step back, because this example might be too extreme for you, but let's explore that concept of doing things you don't feel like doing randomly. There are millions of little things you can do to make yourself slightly uncomfortable. If I told you to do 5 push-ups right now, you wouldn't really feel like it, right? But if you actually dropped down and did those 5 push-ups, you would have actually built just a little bit of discipline. In reality, discipline is just a fun game you can play to yourself at any time throughout the day, and that's the only way that you should view it. And that's really important to remember. That's the only way you should view discipline, as a game. Think to yourself, what does my brain not want me to do right now? And then go and do that exact thing. If, of course, that thing benefits you. If you wanted to walk 1 mile per day for 30 days, you would only require discipline to do that for the first 7 or 8 days. Afterwards, going out for a little walk would be part of the first category, the pre-planned discipline, which is an act of discipline itself, but it's now part of your routine. It's not really hard to do it. Now, in order to build even more discipline, you would need to, for example, start walking 2 or 3 miles, or instead of walking 1 mile, let's just say running for 1 mile. What I mean is that you can progressively overload your discipline, or in even simpler terms, you should view discipline as a video game. Those little acts of discipline, which belong in the second category, will give you some XP. If you gain enough XP, you level up your discipline. That's the goal of those random tests on yourself. To make uncomfortable habits part of your daily routine. Or to make discipline part of your comfort zone, if that makes sense. It's important for discipline to be uncomfortable, of course, but it should not be viewed as something really hard or tough. You should have fun challenging yourself in the process. You should feel curious to see what are your limits and how to exceed them. And also remember that you don't need to sprint across the outside of your comfort zone in order to build discipline. You just need a little step. Because the person who tries taking cold showers, takes up running, working out, meditating and waking up early and doing all of those things all at once, when the previous day he was just being lazy the whole day, when he tries to sprint across the outside of his comfort zone, it's like having a rope tied around your waist. Eventually, that rope will pull you right back where you were. Don't make this mistake. So make it a habit to think, what does my brain not want me to do right now? And go and do that exact thing. And eventually that thing that you didn't like doing will become part of your routine. And you won't even feel a negative emotion doing it. I know you're watching this video while you have something to do that you don't feel like doing. And yes, I'm talking about you, bro. Don't act like I don't see you. So, take action right now. Peace out, bro.